What is going on, respectfully selfish family? It's been a while since I checked in. A lot has happened. I've been starting a vlog, so I've been kind of, I don't say dedicating myself to that, but I'm trying to get a lot better at this whole video editing thing. So that's what we've been doing. Since the last time we checked in, me and my girlfriend went up for her sister's 30th, whatever day it was, when her sister's birthday. We don't have to say how old. Um, but we actually ended up surprising my mother as well, which was very, very cool. She had no idea we were coming up. We took the 5-month-old puppy with us, and we were able to travel up and down the coast. I video recorded almost as much as I could on my visit. So if you haven't checked it out on YouTube, right there, Ben J. Myers, you can check that out. Nothing like a good old self plug in the intro here. But what I wanted to talk about today is what that trip did for me, and hopefully it can kind of spark some ideas how you can refill your tank and how you can kind of get things going again, because with elections coming up and who knows what's going on with this virus thing, and if we're going to have to shut back down or whatever precautions are going to be need to be taken, we're going to have to prepare up here, because if round one goes anything, or round two goes anything like round one did, some of us might be in trouble. So hopefully we can use this platform to talk about, what it is you did the first time that you would do differently. As we're getting into the winter months here, what you're planning on doing to either take proper precautions or, maybe get back to a little bit of your normal routine. I want to be able to talk about that stuff. So guys, comment, do whatever you got to do. Use this as a discussion board to really help each other out, because I know it's a tough time and I know people just need a hand. So like I said, use it. Let's see if we can help each other. But back to the trip, the road trip home, what it taught me was I love the shit out of my girlfriend. She is awesome. Not only have we been in the pandemic together and we've been, figuring each other out, when we're having bad days, how you communicate, how you want to be treated, how you want to be interacted with. I know when I'm sick and when I'm, not feeling good, I'm having a bad day, leave me the alone. I don't want to be talked to. I don't want to be, badgered with how your day was. I know it's so innocent, but that's not what I want. I want to be in a quiet room, mindless activity, whether that's playing video games, guitar, watching Netflix or anything like that. That's what I want to do. Probably order a pizza or something. Other people, like, she likes to be a little bit more coddled. Coddled's not the word. She likes the physical touch, like hugs, reassurance, physical reassurance, vocal reassurance, let her know she's doing a good job, she's on the right path, that kind of stuff. So that's stuff we've really figured out. And what I learned on the road trip up to see my family is not only do we live together, but I miss the shit out of her when I don't get to be with her. We spent a week apart because we were at her family's house. My cat's going nuts in the window. She was at her family's and I was at mine, and I just missed the shit out of her. And I realized that's when that person's your best friend. So I realized over quarantine, the thing we really, really communicated on was communication. That was from day one. I know when everything was kind of going into lockdown, that's what we talked about. Hey, if we're going to make it through this, if we're going to, continue with our long-term goals of, hopefully, buying a house, doing all those long-term goal things together, we're going to have to communicate. We're going to have to get out of this together. We're going to have to work through it. We're going to have to be each other's best teammate. And that's what happened. I realized, the first time we actually got to go do anything, it kind of was a vacation. We got to take a road trip instead of flying, and we got to do this together, and it was so much fun. You kind of got a taste of what the normal world, or what used to be normal, was. And I forgot how much fun we can have on what can be just awful activities. Like, some people look at road trips across the country as like, ugh. Especially sometimes I love traveling alone, flying alone. I love doing that stuff. But I finally found out I have an awesome partner to do it with now, which is super cool. So that's one thing I learned is try to mix in a little bit of normalcy. However you can. Like I said, wherever you're at in the precautions you're taking for Corona and COVID, they're the same thing. But however you're identifying it. Got to mix in a little bit of normalcy, whether that's going to dinner or planning a picnic or if the weather's getting colder, planning fall activities or something like that. Something you can do, but you have to keep a little bit of normalcy in your life. Otherwise, you're going to let everything get right on top of you again, and things are going to be tough. 2, the big thing I learned is you have to be able to go back to the people that have just been giving you as much energy as you've been giving them. Going to see my family and my friends, and thank you to everybody who made time to reach out or come see me or made time for me to come see them. It was amazing. I took time to coordinate with a certain group of people, my inner circle. If I didn't get to see people that are in my inner circle, I apologize. It was a short trip and very last minute. But I got to spend, not just, check the box, not just, hey, someone's going to come over, we're going to catch up awkwardly, for an hour on my parents' couch. The thing I did was I wanted a lot time for normalcy, going to my cousin's apartment, hanging out, grabbing a beer at the brewery, all socially distanced, of course. Going to see my other cousin, my grandmother, and then not just like catching up and saying hello, but doing things I would normally do, getting hoagies from Giuliano's, all that kind of stuff. Shout out Giuliano's, Lansdale, PA, right by 4th Street Pool. But my gosh, being able to smell my grandmother's house or my aunt's house, being able to sit on my grandmother's couch, being able to sit on my aunt's back deck, all those kind of things you just forget about. Especially, it doesn't matter if I live in Florida and they live up near Philly. You could live right around the corner and forget what that feels like. You could forget what your grandmother's couch or your mother and father's couch feels like sitting on because you haven't been there in 6 months because of the pandemic. Remember, you have to take time to do that. That's what's going to reset you. That's your normal. That is what you grew up. That is your comfortable space. And in times like this, you have to know what you can fall back on. And that is one of them. Driving up there, seeing my family, dedicating time to do normal things. Hang out with people and do things we would normally do. Go to breweries. Have great conversations on the back deck. Drive around Lansdale, just talking, listening to music. All that stuff was just such a great dose of normal, and it just felt so good. Obviously, seeing my mom and dad and all my family and my friends was so good. Sleeping in my parents' house, I have trouble sleeping, but I went back there 5 nights in a row, out like a light. It was unbelievable. It was awesome. This podcast sponsored by H2O. Get it now from your fridge or your faucet. So that was the second thing. And number three was when you get back or when you're done getting that quality time in, you have to come back and normalize your life. I keep saying normalize. And this one, I came back and the first thing I did was I didn't unpack my suitcase, which I'm notorious for. I came in and I organized my room so I could get back and do stuff like this. It wasn't becoming a process. It wasn't becoming a task to be like, oh, now I got to clean up. I got to do this. Then I got to get in the mood to shoot a podcast or a vlog or something like that. You have to understand you have to constantly try to set yourself up for success. And if it's things you enjoy doing, like I love doing a podcast. I love recording videos. I love editing videos. You start to learn that it isn't a task. It isn't it is a task. It isn't a obligation to do it because you're like, oh, this is going to let me do the things I love to do. But if you're constantly doing things you don't like doing, you have to constantly be setting up for things you don't want to do. That's when you start hating the things that are your normal life. You have to, some of us aren't in situations where we can do that kind of stuff. We have to be working that job that is paying the bills because, like I said, this pandemic, no one knows what is going on. So remember, find that hobby, find that thing that resets you, find that thing that takes you away from those mundane tasks that you don't enjoy doing. Remember that you're in control. It's like a bad trip. It's like when you have a bad high. Remember, you have to breathe. You have to get through it. Remember, you're in control. Your heart's not going to explode. Your brain's not going to explode here. Remember, sometimes the most lost we feel is because it's the most, The most lost we feel is most of the times when we have the clearest look in how we actually feel. So when we feel lost, we've never been seeing it clear. Sometimes being lost is being found. I know that's what happened to me. When I finally realized I was lost and I don't know what the hell I'm doing, that's when I was like, this is it. Now this is the starting point. Now this is where I build from. Being lost isn't a bad thing. Being lost is a great thing because then you get to start from scratch. You get to find out no bullshit, no one telling you this or that or pulling you in whatever direction. You get to be like, this is for me or this isn't. So that was my third fact. It was reorganize your life to the things, set yourself up for success. As my great friend Mike Williams would say, don't be afraid to be great. We ain't in the business of moving backwards. Not about it. Always moving forward. Set yourself up for success. And from there, just be like water, my friend. Stop bashing through those brick walls with your head. Let things happen. Let things blossom into your life. I've never used the word blossom in my life. So look, see what's happening? But guys, feels good to be back on the mic. This is a short one. We're going to try to keep them shorter, sweeter, to the point. Because I'll tell you what, sometimes listen to myself for 20 to 30 minutes. Hey, Iverson. This cat's a crazy one. Listen to myself for 20 to 30 minutes. No, thank you. Not for me. Nuh-uh. But as you can see right down here, check it. Oh, there it is. Respectfully Selfish Show. You can find me at any of the above. And go check out my blog. It's been cool. Let me know what you like, what you don't like. And I'll respond to the good ones. All right, guys. Take care. Thanks for stopping by. Loved. Missed you all. Catch you on the next one. Bye.